didn't say it.
All right, Chuksu. You can do this. You can do this.
You've done a great deal for us already. I wonder if you're willing to do a bit more? While Famia has proven a steadfast companion, I believe our current predicament requires someone a bit more adroit when things take a turn for the perilous. I do. One of your native companions warned you off of it, didn't they? Believe me, I sympathize. But despite my lifestyle, I'm still an Argonian, one with ample means. Who would I be if I didn't use that wealth to help my people? Yes. You clearly want what's best for Yuckmire. I can think of no one more qualified for the task. You and the Bright-Throat Zukas have grown close, yes? He knows a great deal about the Remnant, I'm sure. Please, convince him we only want to help. Thank you for your efforts thus far, and your achievements to come. I have business in Alton Mirthil. Perhaps we can reconvene there once you've made your inquiries with Zukas. It is. I spent the greater part of my youth in Cyrodiil. Taking on Imperial dress, name, and customs made things easier. Of course, it makes things here in Yuckmire more complicated. One of my life's many ironies.
Though the Saxhleel generally choose to live in tribes based around history, Lilmoth is a merchant town with no true leadership.
Rohiva, welcome. Don't think I've seen you here before.
Ah, Biko. I would be lying if I said this is unexpected. Welcome to my home, Bright-Throat Village. Cozier than Lilmoth, I think. What brings you? Let me hazard a guess. Of course you do. This matter of the Remnant, you must understand, it is fragile as a marsh robin's egg. Even so, I trust your heart, and truthfully, we could use the help. Bright-Throats are negotiators, not warriors, and war is brewing. All answers lie with the Hist. It is just a matter of hearing what it has to say. Chimemaker Shuvu can help us. Our Hist speaks through the wind, you see. Its words rustle through the boughs, and our chimes sing out its counsel. Poetic, right? Old Shuvu spends his time in the Glade of Chimes, to the west of the village. In my youth, I would spend all my time listening to the chimes. It is a very good place. If you go there now, I will join you. You will like Chimemaker Shuvu, I think. Very wise and very pleasant. Like one of your gray-muzzled bark dogs. Let's make our way to the glade. Is the name not clear? It is a glade. It is full of chimes. Some people think that the Hist speaks to us, just as I speak to you, using words, you see. We call this kahupwo, the mouth talk. Very rare, Biko. Most Hist speak without words. In Brightthroat Village, the Hist speaks through chime music.
Is that? Ha! Little Zukas, come to visit your old friend in the Glade of Chimes? He is always so busy now. I recall when he stood only as tall as the Kepo grass. And you, blackguard slayer, what can this stiff-legged crafter do for you? Remnant of... My. This is no small question, Zuka's friend. Look around you. Each of these chimes sing out a tangle of melodies, but only one tangle. One chime speaks of eggs and hatching. Another jangles about death and journey's ends.
Hello.
Ah, the Ogel is
I didn't have my mic on. I was listening to some
my hands
stuff about the raid at Mar-a-Lago.
You hear, but the remnant.
This is going to be very shocking to both of you, I'm sure, but what the mainstream media is showing is not
older
accurate.
Than my egg mother's egg mother. A chime
I'm sure
as
that's a
old
surprise.
as our tribe. Locked away, hidden under mud in lost memories.
See, they get this
our
rumor
exiles
that's
did
leaked
not
to them
want this
by
truth
the FBI.
drifting free on the wind, but Zukas trusts
And
you.
then they say, "Oh, this is yes, he illegally obtained."
Go to the Wither Vault.
And well, people start going, well, "What do you mean he illegally obtained? What are they talking about? What are the documents?" And they go, "Shit, we didn't think about that. These are classified documents." And people go, "Oh, it's classified documents. He illegally obtained classified documents." And then people start going,
I would guide you, but my
"Wait a
knees
minute,
grow
he's
stiff
had
as
these
kindling.
for over a year now. He has security clearance for these documents." People go, "Shit, we didn't think of that."
Even Brightthroats who know the mire
But what
like
he's
their own
doing with
scales
them is
face
illegal.
danger there.
Well, what's he doing with them? Shit, we didn't think about that. It's the way they're being stored that's illegal. You go, well, how are they stored? From what I see, they were stored in a safe, and the FBI goes, "Shit, we didn't think about that." They just keep lying. Everything they say is a complete fabrication. They leak it to the media. The media puts out the story, and anyone that asks questions, they start by filling out the truth. They're finding out the truth.
Up at the branches, listening, always listening.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, Moira. There's news sources like Crowder out there that are bigger than CNN, even though they don't make anywhere near as much money. And they're going, well, hang on a minute. They start asking questions. Like, if you don't ask questions, you're much happier. Just go along with fascism. Like, this is perfectly okay. You can do this to a former president and just lie about every single thing that's happening right now. And if the American people go, "Oh yeah, this is totally fine," that's a fascist society. That's it. Because if someone speaks up, you may get deplatformed, you may lose your job. And one of the things I saw from CNN was, well, if it were really like this at the FBI, there would be whistleblowers. And stupid people go, "Yeah, that's right. If this were happening, there would be whistleblowers." Guess what? There were whistleblowers. Several of them are now in exile.
No, we only cover
It's pretty big incentive just to keep your mouth shut, keep your pension, or you'll be exiled. So if you come back to the United States without charges, you spend the rest of your natural life behind bars in a cell alone.
Take away our wind, seeds, and
there need to be more people.
There it is, just up ahead.
Obama gutted the intelligence community. Like he just completely destroyed the intelligence community.
Let's make
And
this quick.
people there are just happy with whatever happens. It doesn't matter if it's legal. It doesn't matter if it's part of their job. It doesn't, and none of that matters. They just want their pension. You know, they don't want to ruffle any feathers. They don't care about the American people. They don't care about the rights of the American people. They don't care about the laws. They care about doing exactly what they're told whenever they're told. Here's a big one. And because if you ask questions, I mean, then you're toast. The sad state of affairs because my uncle was part of the intelligence community for 30 years. And he watched what Obama was doing and hated it. Alright, I don't know if you were watching the screen, but I just took that whole wind chime down. Where the hell did I put it? Hang on, maybe it's... Hold still. Is it up there? Is it up your ass right there? Ooh, a secret. It's just...
Good work, Biko.
It's been out of hand
Village.
Over a decade. And people are just still talking about it. No one is doing anything. They can't. There's nothing anyone can do. Like there's nothing a single person can do. There's a guy I talked to in a chat room, and I mean I kind of had questions. I'm like, I don't know if this is real. Is he really talking about this? Apparently, yes, it absolutely happens. He was just a second. Watching a stream, but I have to go to bed pretty soon. Early day for me. Oh, that sucks. Well, thank you for showing up. I hope you drop a like for me. But this guy was arrested. The local police had a murder on their hands on his property, and they called the FBI. And the FBI got a judge, federal judge, to sign a warrant. Went straight to his house and arrested him. They kept him in prison for 11 months. And he kept telling them, I was out of town. I was out of town. You found a dead body on my property. I was not here. I don't own a gun. He was killed by a gun. I said, well, you know, this rural area, and they just made up all this stuff. And the only times that he got to come out of his cell in solitary was to have the FBI go, sign this confession that you murdered this person. He said no, they put him back in the cell, shut the door. And a week later, they come back and say, we have news vans out in front of your house. They're harassing your family. The lights are on until midnight, so your family can't sleep. I know your daughter's got to go to school, and your wife has to work. But, you know, sign the confession, and the spotlights go away, so your family can sleep, so they can go to work and school. And he said no, and that's the way the FBI operates. It turns out that the man got into a fight, and they actually found the killer, and he has absolutely no recourse whatsoever. He can't sue the state, he can't sue the FBI. These people destroyed his life, they harassed his family, they harassed his neighbors, they dragged his name through the mud in the media. Because he refused to sign a confession for 11 months. They kept him locked in a dark cell by himself with no television, nothing to read. It's him on a slab with a mattress and a pillow and a toilet. No one to talk to, doesn't get to make any phone calls. That's who the FBI is.
Hist be praised. Take the chime to the listening tree and hang it there. When you are ready, clutch this prayer stone and focus. If your cause is just,
like, weaker people
if not, I guess
would have found a way to kill themselves. Like, you're locked in a dark room 23 hours out of the day. Yet you get to come out and get questioned every Saturday, and then they put you back in. At this point, anyone supporting the FBI is an enemy of the American people.
center yourself in the glade.
But I have to go pray?
And focus the remnant's mystery on the prayer stone.
Yeah.
We seek your guidance and ask the blessing of your song. Sap Mother, Bow Father, please hear our petition and speak the remnant's truth. I hear nothing. A tangle of whispers, nothing more.
That can't be. Wait, I hear it, Shuvu. I hear it. The Hist sings the remnant's truth.
Look at these people.
Truly?
A bunch of wind chimes tied to a tree. They're praying to the earth spirits. They're a bunch of hippies.
Come, tell us what you hear.
They're not people, they're hippies.
I am confused. Shuvu is the wisest.
Oh, now we got 87,000 new IRS agents, so they can get the FBI to come in and break down people's doors.
Maybe he just needs
and just say, "Oh yeah, I got this judge to sign a warrant. So we're gonna take all of your electronics, and we'll get back to you. Bye."
Smoke of stars to see what once was seen. Sunless sap to hear what once was heard.
I forget who I was watching. I was watching someone on Fox News. Someone that
appreciate the Hist's poetry,
still kind of a
but this is
dirtbag
not
because
an
they're in the
ideal
media.
time for it, I think.
He went, if they came to his house with a warrant and with a bunch of agents,
hopefully,
at midnight, and a bunch of sirens and lights going off, waking up his neighbors, the first thing he would do is turn on his Ring doorbell and his cell phone and his laptop and start live feeding directly to YouTube. Get the information out there as soon as possible. This is how they treat people. This is what happens when you live in an authoritarian society. They do not care about the United States. They do not care about the rights. They do not care about the people. It's kind of sad. You know, watching a country you love just get destroyed by the most evil, greedy sons of bitches to ever hold public office. Did you just spit at me?
Are you stuck or choosing to remain still?
I wasn't on this little trip to wipe people out. Oh man, he turned to ash. I didn't want to kill a bunch of wildlife. They started it, but now I want to kill a bunch of stuff. He turned to ash too. He's getting their butts kicked. Ow! Werewolf of London.
That's got it. That should come in handy. I am not afraid of you.
Oh. Being a werewolf is a criminal act. I don't want to get bounty. Well, he didn't turn around.
Cassandra said you'd be here. There's news. Well, you certainly have a spring in your step. Your work with the Bright Throats went well, I take it. Splendid! Following another lead on the Remnant. Or, potential lead. Someone she worked with before she started funding Cyrodiilic collections. I don't know much more. She asked me to tell you to join them when I saw you, so I suppose you should do that. West of here, near that spooky prison. Honestly, I missed most of it. Too preoccupied by her bodyguard. Something about how he looks at me. Gives me the shivers, you know? But we have better things to discuss. What did you learn with Zucus? Ritual Argonian poetry. The words are common, but the meter is all wrong. There's more to it. Missing verses, perhaps? Truthfully, Cassandra is the authority on that sort of thing. You should set out. I'll try to dig up a few relevant texts. Smoke and sunless sap. Strange that the Bright Throats hissed would speak in such dour terms. Maybe it describes some dark age. The Alessian incursion of the First Era? Or perhaps a dark age yet to come. Egads, let's hope it's not that.
Courage brings victory. What do you think you'll make with that?
With your toes, Stibbons. Your toes.
It's no use. Pockets have been picked clean.
Nothing is ever that. Good, you're here.
I had to take the dog out. She just showed up going, I gotta poop. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, thanks for hanging out.
You found us. Good. As you can see, we've met with some difficulty. I apologize for the unsightliness. Were your inquiries in Brightthroat Village fruitful? Murder, apparently. The victim was Hitsasi, a former associate. Not so pleasant or learned as Famia, but still useful in his own way. He traveled in less reputable circles. I had hoped he could shed some light on the blackguard's plans. That is what we are trying to determine. Whatever happened, it was neither clean nor brief. What a waste. If the blackguards came after him, Hitsasi must have known something about the Remnant after all. Look around and see what you can find. His throat was cut. Simple bandages weren't enough to staunch the bleeding, it seems. What have you found? Show them to me, if you would. Pages torn from Hitsatsi's journal. I do not mean to speak ill of the dead, but I must admit some surprise. He never struck me as someone committed enough to keep a journal. If he knew about the Remnant, this could prove invaluable. So, the blackguards have learned what we already know. The truth of the Remnant cannot be torn from my eggkin because they do not know it. Only their tribal relics can provide the answers. How did you learn them? You see? The voice of the Hist needs a conduit, some physical means of communication. The blackguards failed to acquire the Brightthroat's chime, but they clearly mean to steal some relic from the Deadwater tribe. Bold. Or spectacularly stupid. Precisely. You know one of the tribe's calls, don't you? Jaxic Orn, if I recall correctly. Find her, and plead our case. If the Deadwater tribe has some way of learning more about the Remnant, we need to find it before the blackguards do. Safe travels. When you've concluded your business with the Deadwater tribe, meet me back at Cyrodiila Collection's headquarters in Lilmuth. We're getting close. I can almost feel it. Please, don't mistake my stoic demeanor for a lack of enthusiasm. All of this is tremendously exciting. But, in answer to your inquiry, yes, the primacy of these relics is a thrilling discovery. It supports a theory of mine about the Hist. Well, I wrote a treatise on the subject some years ago, a brisk 400 pages. But I suppose I can give you a summary. Argonians share a special relationship with their Hist. Yes, well, that's just it. I can't hear the Hist. When I place my hands on the Hist's bark or rest in the shadow of its boughs, I hear nothing. No whispers, no faint smells or soothing tones. Just silence. Deafening silence. Thank you. I admit the silence troubles me, but do you see? My eggkin sometimes need intermediaries, too. With these antiquities, the chimes, the Deadwater relic, and eventually the Remnant itself, perhaps I'll finally hear something.
This is a great area for harvesting. The vines were in a good mood when they made this place. Right behind you, partner. That was easy.
Work builds character, they say.
I grind my fangs. This is a desecration.
I don't think I'll ever be done.
I'll be at this again tomorrow.
I narrow my eyes. I know what you seek. You and the blackguards both. Sojay and I hack and cleave and stab, yet more Ogels swim over our borders every day. All looking for the remnant of Argonne. I must find it first. I will find it first. I consider. We killed many savages together. We will do so again. If the Hist thinks you are worthy of Remnant secrets, you will survive. If not, so be it. I hunt blackguards. They skulk around our village, yanking up our grave stakes like salt daisies. I arch my brow ridge. Special. Yes. Our grave stakes do not just pin the dead to their resting place. Each tells a story, some as old as the tribe itself. Some of our greatest Rajkals even had the honor of using a hist bow to make their stakes. Yes. All the more reason to hack these blackguards dead. Meet me in the swamp east of the village. Our quarry is there. Many unstaked bog blights also. Freed from their dead sleep by those thieving savages. Bare your fangs, Ojel. Time for war.
Come on, get out of there!
Here already. You are swift, Ojel. I will give you that. But enough flattery, I think. From now on, all is war talk. We seek the grave stakes of several Deadwater Khals, and vengeance. I know how we can claim both. The blackguards steal our fallen eggkin's grave stakes without regard for the stake's purpose. Now, the rivers choke on bog blights, dead and not dead things that eat Nagas whole. With cunning, we will see to it that they eat only blackguards. The blackguard savages build panjis. This word means fumers, racks of oily, spoiled meat that keep the bog blights off their scent. As we recover the grave stakes, destroy the fumers. The dead not dead will find our enemies and do the rest. This time we attack as one. One serpent, two heads. We call them Zulvats. They tell the stories of our victories and our defeats. Tales from childhood, names of friends, dreams, nightmares. They also keep the dead down where they belong, in the mud. Often enough to earn a name, Bog Blight. Many strange things stalk the deep murk, Ojel. Beasts of vine and stone. Giant Hajmota, ghost people, slimes, plants with maws like crocodiles.
Always ready to help.
Good. The bog blights will feast on this camp soon enough.
For glory! That should come in handy. That's it. Are you hurt? What's on your mind?
Yes. These blackguards will pay a high price for challenging the Deadwater tribe.
Attack!
Well done. Now travel north. We will raid their main encampment and finish this. Over here, Ojal.
The day will be ours!
Them's that day.
That's over with, I suppose.
I know I spoke of fighting as one, but these two were too loud and foolish. So Jay and I had to kill them. Before they died, they spoke of the Remnant and the hissed Woodgrave stakes. One shouted at the other about a relic they could not find. The grave stake of a Chronocal, the great Deadwater war chief called Etra of the Many Spears. Few Deadwater warriors rival Etra. He is Wutum. You would say legend, I think. I blink my eyes. Maybe. Reading Azulvat is Gravesinger work. We cannot know until we claim the stake. You will have to fight him for it. All Deadwater Carls know Etra's resting place. Look west and follow the ridgeline. My tail sinks. Etra is buried in the Tomb of Many Spears, an unclean place. Vahat, or taboo in the Dry Tongue. Sojay and I cannot fight there, but you can. I will reclaim your body and make a helm of your skull. Why do you slump?
Waste our steel! The day is ours! Without a defender.
So much to do, so little time. What can I do for you?
Then, is it Etra's story on the gravestake? Or the Hists?
Both, my Carl. What is our story, if not the story of the Hist?
I see them return. You destroyed Etra? Good. Let that victory rattle the roots. Gravesinger Kiat tells me what we seek is not in the gravestake symbols, but in the wood itself. I do not know how to read wood, but he says I must. I shake my head. It is a gravestake like the others. We do not even know what to look for. The symbols are worn. But wait. I see it. In the grain. In the whorls and knots. The remnant. It swims in the wood. I can almost touch it. Patience! There are words. In a garden in a maw of stone. Yes, that is all. I see nothing more. This is what we hunted for. A garden. I hiss fire. Why could it not be more simple? Chaos. There must be more. What is us?
This work isn't going to do itself.
Did you bring more wine?
Please, you must understand. We only seek the remnant to... thank Mara you're here. I haven't seen a gathering go this poorly since my sister Concordia's 7th birthday. Marinus put slugs in her pudding. I can still hear the screams. Whew. For the record, I did offer tea. A location, clearly. But a location for what? I did some more research on the first riddle. The one about smoke and sap, remember? Well, after combing through a half-dozen dissertations, I'm pretty confident it's referring to a dream wallow. It's an Argonian religious practice, sort of. I've never witnessed one myself, but they typically involve a period of isolation and exposure to potent, mind-altering herbs. According to the text, a dream wallower can see things beyond the physical. Yes, now if we could wait. A garden in a maw of stone? Of course! That's gotta be the Swallowed Grove, the Rionwo. A dream wallow in the Swallowed Grove. What could be more exciting? We should discuss this with Cassandra right away.
The Rionwo. Many strange things stalk the Swallowed Grove, Bigos.
Strange or not, Sojay and I will kill anything that threatens the remnant. Anything.
A dream wallow in the swallowed grove. Fast immediately. I hate to set out on such... Just look at us. Make whatever preparations you must, Famia. The time has come.